Good morning, Beachbody champions. I am so happy to be here July 2nd, this Thursday morning. I can't believe we're already in July. So crazy. It feels like summer is just moving on without me. And I'm going to get out and enjoy some sunshine this weekend. And I hope you guys are too. But before that, we are here to do a product training on Beachbody's latest product launch that is going to be happening and available for you guys and your customers July 13th for Beachbody Bevvies. It's a refreshing tea that is going to help you and your customers curb cravings and support healthy weight loss. Today, we're going to bring on some scientists to kind of walk us through what this product is, what it's going to do for you and your customers. And it's just going to be awesome. This product sounds amazing and I can't wait to try it. I've actually tasted one of the flavors. It's going to come in 2 flavors. There's a lemon tea and then a pomegranate berry, I believe. That's going to be available for you guys to purchase in a 40 stick pack carton. And we're going to go over those details in the training video that's going to come in just a little bit. So you can have that. But if you are interested to check out more information, be sure to check out FAQ 7799 after this training to see if you have any questions that maybe aren't answered. But I think you're going to find the information that's going to be provided today is just awesome. So the things that are going to be discussed today are why we designed Bevvy, how to take Bevvy to get the best results, and how Bevvy and Shakeology work together, as well as the key ingredients and what they do, and most importantly, the science behind these ingredients and how they're going to work to help curb your cravings and support healthy weight loss. And so without further ado, I'm going to bring in this video let me share my screen, a video training that was done on the roundtable. So let me share this and mute my video because you guys don't need to see me. Well, or maybe not. Hold on a second. Let me stop share. Okay, here we go.
So much going on. Hey, today is Thursday and it's been a massive, massive day of recognition. Congratulations to so many of you. Big, big day for a lot of leaders. So we're going to make it fun today. I'm going to teach you a little bit about Bevvy product training. And I brought a few people today to help me. So I want to do some introductions from some people. Let me bring on Erin and Emily and Christine. Guys, hi everybody. Hi, turn on your mics for a second. So we have from our R&D department, research and development, we have Erin Glenn. Erin, wave, okay. And she is our senior principal scientist. So she's been working on this product a very long time. And new to the company is Emily Fritz. And Emily there is in yellow. And she is a principal scientist. So we know that we've got some really good science behind the product, and we're going to get through that today. And we also have Christine Lee. She's a director on our nutritionals team, which is all of the marketing is from that team. And so together they have put together a comprehensive presentation today to go through to help you know the ins and outs of the product that's soon to be launching. So we're very, very excited about that. Let me first go to a slide that's going to show you what we're going to cover today, and then we'll go into it. So let me do that, since I will be sharing my screen. Here we go. Alrighty, so Bevvy product training, yay. Okay, what we are going to do today is talk about why we designed this groundbreaking product, also how and when to take Bevvy for best results. So those are the Bevvy Basics. And for those of you who want to know how to drink it or with Shakeology or how they work together. We're going to cover that. The key ingredients
for best results
in Bevvy and
Bevvy
what they do. And of course, we're going to learn about the science behind the key ingredients. So I want to get right into it. Save your questions though, because there's going to be a lot answered. But if you are interested in more information at the end of this, we're going to tell you where to go for more information. So we're going to just jump right into it. I'm going to bring Erin on. Erin, you there? Okay.
Yes, can you hear me?
I can sure hear you and I can see you too. I'm going to get out of the way and you just let me know what to advance forward.
Okay, I will. Thank you. So thanks, Sandy, and to the coach training team for inviting Emily and I to be here with you today. We're so excited to share some technical information about Bevvy with you. And our hope is that you walk away from this just as pumped up and excited about Bevvy as we are. So to start, I think most of you know a little bit of the background on Bevvy and what it is. But just in case, I did want to mention right after Super Saturday, we posted a blog article on Beachbody On Demand that kind of goes over the basics of Bevvy. So that's a good place to start if you haven't read that. And it's also a good place to point people, potential customers that just want to find out a little bit more about Bevvy. So you have that resource for you. But in simplest terms, Beachbody Bevvy is a delicious and refreshing 15-calorie supplement, tea supplement that helps curb cravings and support healthy weight loss. And it has 3 key ingredients: the Brewers Yeast peptides, green tea phytosomes, and 3 grams of soluble fiber that we'll be touching on a little bit more as we go through this presentation. Next slide, please, Sandy. All right, before we dive into all the technical aspects of Bevvy, I just wanted to give you some background information on why we created Bevvy. And you guys may have heard of, oh, I forgot there's some animation in that presentation, sorry. You guys may have heard of this survey that we did about a year ago. We called it the Need State Survey. And really what we were aiming for with that was to find out what challenges our consumers were still having that weren't necessarily met by some of the products in the Beachbody portfolio. And one of the things that kept rising to the top in this survey were 2 things: weight loss and cravings, or kind of food intake appetite support. And we all know that Shakeology and our Beachbody programs, both the fitness side and our nutrition programs, are excellent tools for helping people achieve goals in a variety of health areas. And so in creating Bevvy and thinking about a product that we could create that would help further support weight loss and further support people that, you know, were having issues with cravings or food intake, we wanted to create something that was distinct and separate. And so I do want you guys to think of Bevvy not as a replacement for anything that we already have in the portfolio, but really more as like a shiny new tool in your toolbox. This is something that kind of attacks weight loss and cravings from a different angle than all of our other products. So a few differentiators, and we'll go through these a little bit more versus Shakeology in a minute, but Bevvy is only 15 calories. So as somebody is taking Bevvy, we're not asking them to add a lot more calories to their day. It's super convenient and easy to use. You'll see that it comes in a stick pack, easy to pour into water, and it also dissolves really easily. So you don't need to have a blender handy. You can just have your shaker cup or a water bottle. And lastly, Bevvy provides some different usage occasions. So we know that a lot of people take Shakeology first thing in the morning, and then maybe they have their BBP products before and after their workouts. You'll see in a minute where we recommend taking Bevvy and how that kind of fits in with those other products and creates a different usage occasion. Next slide. All right, let's hop into some Bevvy basics. So I want to direct your attention down to that colored box. Hopefully you guys can see it. But just on how do you use Bevvy? So I'm just going to read these directions. So you're adding 1 packet of Bevvy to 8 ounces of water. It can be cold or warm water. Stir or gently shake until dissolved and then add ice. Do not mix with boiling water. And for best results, take it twice a day, 30 minutes before meals. So I want to unpack that a little bit. Why do we say twice a day? Well, the answer to that is that 2 of the ingredients that we use, the key ingredients that help Bevvy work, have some great science behind them. They have clinical studies. And in these studies, people that took the ingredients took them twice a day on separate occasions. So it's not like taking 2 Bevvies right back to back. You do need to try to separate them with a little bit of time. But that's why we say twice a day is that's how these ingredients have been studied. And the second part of that, 30 minutes before meals, it's a similar premise. So one of the key ingredients that you'll learn a little bit more from Emily is called the Brewers Yeast peptides. And these were given 30 minutes before meals in the studies conducted on this ingredient. And we've seen in our own testing that this does seem to be important to have the best effects on appetite and food intake from this ingredient. So that's not saying that you can't take Bevvy at other times. So for instance, if you have dinner and then an hour or 2 later, you're having a sweet craving and you want something to satisfy that and you reach for a Bevvy, that's great. But what we are saying is that the effects of these key ingredients are optimized when you take it as directed. So we just want you to be aware of that. Take it anytime you like, but for somebody that's really focusing on craving support and weight loss, we would recommend that you take it twice a day, 30 minutes before meals. Okay, so that was a really long explanation. Oh, sorry, Sandy, can you go back? That's forward. Back a couple, still on the first Bevvy Basics slide with the directions. All right, thanks. So I know I talked a long time on that. But lastly, on how to prepare Bevvy, I wanted to touch on a few things. So you can mix it with cold water, or you can use warm to hot water. But you'll see that we say don't mix it with boiling water. And the reason for that is one of those key ingredients, the green tea phytosomes, start to break down if they're in boiling water, and then you'll lose some of the key benefits from that ingredient. So you just want to make sure, it's not like you can drink boiling water anyway, but if you are going to drink Bevvy hot, let your water cool off a little bit before you add the Bevvy in so that we keep those green tea phytosomes intact. All right, so once you have your water, you pour Bevvy in, now what? I'll say we've done some consumer testing, mostly with Beachbody employees, and we found that people who put it in a shaker cup and then shake it really vigorously, it creates kind of a layer of foam on the top. So that's completely fine, but from a consumer standpoint, people might not want that. So we suggest that if you don't want that, you can just stir Bevvy. It dissolves very easily. You'll see that, or but it doesn't need to be shaken vigorously like if you were trying to make Shakeology in a shaker cup. All right, and the last thing, what to mix Bevvy with. So we think it tastes great with just water, but we know that some people like to mix it up a little bit. We've noticed some people like a little bit of a lighter flavor, so they will dilute it with a little bit more water, and that's completely fine. In terms of adding it to anything else, we would recommend keeping the calories low. So you can mix it with other low or non-caloric beverages, but we prefer that you not mix it with something that has higher calories. So like I would not recommend mixing it with 8 ounces of juice, for instance, but a little splash of orange juice just to change up the flavor would be fine. All right, next slide, please, Sandy. Okay, here are just the supplement facts panel, and I won't spend too much time on this, but just wanted to touch on a few key aspects. We've already mentioned the 15 calories that are in Bevvy. So you'll see that 15 calories here per stick. You'll see the 3 grams of fiber called out there. And there's less than half a gram of sugar in Bevvy, which is why you don't even see it on the label here. But I did want to call your attention to the 2 active ingredients we list here. So the Brewers Yeast peptides and the green tea phytosomes. And the reason we call those out on the label is that those are the clinically studied amounts of those ingredients. So, if you dig a little bit deeper into this research, if you're a research nerd and you want to do that, you'll find that in the clinical studies that these were the amounts that were used. And so that's why we wanted to let you guys know that we were using those clinically studied amounts. All right, next slide, please, Sandy. Great. Let's talk a little bit about what Bevvy is and is not. Bevvy is not like any typical diet drink or appetite suppressant that you might think of. It's not a stimulant, so the tea ingredients that we use have been decaffeinated. So Bevvy has less than 8 milligrams per serving. And if you compare that like to Energize, for instance, a scoop of Energize is 100 milligrams of caffeine. So 8 milligrams is quite a bit lower than that. So it's not a stimulant, doesn't have those properties. It is not a laxative or a diuretic. And it's not a fat or a carb blocker. So some weight loss things that you'll see claim that they're binding or blocking fat or carbs from absorption, and that is not how the ingredients in Bevvy work. And then lastly, it's really not a quick fix. You're not gonna lose 30 pounds in a month just from starting to take Bevvy, and we're not advertising that way. It really is just a tool that's gonna help people stick to their diet plan, help people reduce those cravings that is really going to ultimately help them lose weight. Okay, next slide, please. Here is a quick rundown. Thank you. A quick rundown of how we formulated Bevvy. We know a lot of these things are important to you guys as the coach base. So Bevvy is gluten-free, soy-free, dairy-free, plant-based. It has no artificial flavors or preservatives and no synthetic colors. And we will have a pretty extensive FAQ around each of those. So I would look there if you have some questions about any of those aspects. Okay, next slide, please. I feel like I'm going really fast, sorry. Okay, this is the last thing for me before I pass it on to Emily. And we just wanted to touch on some of the key distinctions between Bevvy and Shakeology. I want you to think of Shakeology as exactly the tagline that we describe it as, which is your daily dose of dense nutrition. Shakeology is nutrition, and Bevvy really is not. It doesn't provide a lot of nutritive value. Shakeology is packed with that protein and fiber. It has all the other good stuff that we talk about with Shakeology, the probiotics, the prebiotics, the adaptogens, the digestive enzymes. Shakeology is the products that provides a nutritional foundation, and it's really important for people to still get that. Bevvy, on the other hand, is a more targeted solution for people who are struggling with weight loss and cravings. And I think that together that they will be really powerful. Shakeology is providing that nutrition that so many people are missing, but we also know from our clinical studies on Shakeology that it can help with satiation and appetite. But let's be honest, if you drink Shakeology at 7 a.m., at 7 p.m., you might not still be feeling satiated from that. So Bevvy is a way that you can still have your Shakeology as your foundation in the morning. You can have your Bevvy, let's say 30 minutes before lunch and 30 minutes before dinner. And then you're really getting that all day appetite support from combining the two. So that's how I would think about using Bevvy and Shakeology together. And at this point, I'm going to pass it off to Dr. Emily here, who's gonna tell us a little bit more about the ingredients and the science behind them.
Hey, Erin, before you go, by the way, you did great. Can you say something about, can you clarify our clinical studies? Were they ours or were they done somewhere else?
For Shakeology?
For Bevvy.
Oh, for Bevvy. So no, the ingredients, the key actives, the Brewers Yeast peptides and the green tea phytosomes have their own clinical studies on those individual ingredients.
Okay, thank you. Excellent. So let's bring on Emily Fritz. Emily, nice to see you.
Good to see you.
I will get out of the way and I'll move the slide forward so you can take it from here.
Perfect. Sandy's question was a great segue into what we'll talk about next, which is the clinical studies that Erin referred to on the key ingredients in Bevvy. And so, Sandy, if you go ahead to the next slide, I'm going to talk through each of the key ingredients, and then we'll go into the details of the clinical studies a little bit further. So the first ingredient is a patented Brewers yeast peptide, and it's made from yeast, which is a single cell organism, also called Saccharomyces cerevisiae. But that's the same kind of yeast that's used commonly in food processes, things like fermentation, brewing, baking. And what they do is they take those yeast cells and they take the protein in the yeast and they break it into small chains of amino acids that are active in your body and help support appetite. And so those small pieces of peptides work with the natural appetite regulation in your body to help provide that support. And the way I like to think about it is think about our collagen peptides, right? Same idea. You take a larger protein and you break it down into these small active pieces of protein called peptides. But instead of coming from collagen protein and helping with skin and nails, this comes from yeast proteins and it helps with appetite control. The second ingredient is green tea phytosomes. And so the green tea phytosomes are made by water extracting all of the good actives from green tea. And think of that like kind of brewing a lot of tea. What they do is they take all the good stuff and they dry it out. And they dry it out and they combine it with a small amount of fat that comes from sunflower called lecithin. And that small amount of fat and the combination of the two is a phytosome together. And your body has an easier time absorbing green tea in phytosome form than in its regular green tea extract form, which is why we picked that special ingredient. And the actives in green tea are called catechins. And catechins have been shown to positively impact energy expenditure and fat metabolism. So those are working together with the Brewers yeast peptide to provide that comprehensive benefit that Erin was talking about earlier. And last but not least, each stick pack of Bevvy has 3 grams of soluble fiber in it. And we all know that fiber is an essential part of a healthy diet, but it can also help you feel full longer, and it has prebiotic properties, so it can help feed that good bacteria in your gut. Now we're going to talk about the specific studies that I mentioned earlier. So if you go to the next slide, Sandy, we're going to start with the Brewers yeast peptide. So this graph is from an 8-week clinical study where individuals took 250 milligrams of the Brewers yeast peptide 2 times per day, as Erin mentioned earlier. And that's the same amount that's in Bevvy. And so what we saw in that study was that they found people significantly decreased their calorie intake by about 250 fewer calories per day on average over the course of that 8-week study. And if you think about it, 250 fewer calories every day can really add up to help support healthy weight loss over time. Kind of like the concept of energy balance. So the less you're able, the more you're able to kind of cut back the number of calories you're consuming a day, that supports healthy weight loss. And so you'll see from this graph that it might take a few weeks before you start seeing the full benefit, but the studies show consistent benefit after that. And you can find the references for these studies both at the bottom of this slide, and also they'll be included in the product training guide if you want to dig deeper and learn a little bit more about the research that was done. So if you go to the next slide, Sandy, we're going to talk about the green tea phytosome. So I mentioned before that the phytosome has better absorption. The graph on the left shows the data that supports that improved absorption of the green tea phytosome. So the green line is the green tea phytosome, and the orange line is regular green tea extract. And the study showed that absorption of a key catechin called EGCG is improved in that phytosome format, which is the green tea extract plus that sunflower lecithin. And that can lead to benefits. So another study that you can see in the graph on the right is a weight loss study specifically on the green tea phytosome. And that was a study where individuals took the green tea phytosome over 6 months. These were overweight individuals who were also on a low calorie diet and an exercise plan. And the individuals who were taking that 150 milligrams of green tea phytosome twice per day lost 26 pounds, which was twice as much weight as the individuals who were just in the exercise and low calorie diet group alone. so that they only lost 13 pounds. So it provided a lot of added benefits. And again, you can see the reference to that study underneath the graph, and it'll be included in the product training guide. But the thing we want you to keep in mind is that it's the combined effect of the Brewers Yeast Peptide and the green tea phytosome that we're really excited about. You're getting the curbed craving benefit and the decreased food intake from the Brewers Yeast Peptide with the weight loss benefits of the green tea phytosome. And that creates a really novel combination of ingredients that doesn't exist currently in the market. And so we're so excited about the benefits that this can potentially bring to both the coaches and their customers. Sandy, if you go to the next slide. We're so excited about it that we had some of our own Beachbody employees try Bevvy. And we're still ongoing with the test group. But these are some of the pieces of feedback that we saw after only 1 to 2 weeks of them taking Bevvy. And you'll see that these comments are very consistent with what was seen in the clinical trials. Things like curbed craving, reduced snacking. And we're excited about the benefits that we're seeing. And we're excited for you to actually get to try it also. So we know that we went through a lot of information today, but we want you to take a few key things away from this training. The first is that Bevvy has those clinically studied ingredients that both support appetite control from the Brewers Yeast Peptide and the weight loss benefits that we hope to see from the green tea phytosomes. And like Erin mentioned, it's a great tool that you can use with all of the other Beachbody ingredients to help support goal achievement and making progress in addition to the healthy lifestyle that we promote here at Beachbody. And we know that as all product launches, there will be a lot of questions that come in about Bevvy as it rolls out, and we're here to help you answer those. So you'll have an FAQ like we mentioned, and Christine will mention a little bit more about it. There's also the product training guide and the coach support team, and we'll continue to build those things as questions come up as we launch Bevvy. But we're really excited about this product, and we can't wait for all of you to try it. So now, Sandy, I'll toss it over to Christine, who will go through some of the other details about Bevvy.
Thank you so much, Emily, and welcome, Christine. I will move the slide forward for you, Christine. There you go.
Great, thanks everybody. As Erin and Emily mentioned before, we're very excited about this new product. We had done surveys with coaches and customers in the past. We know that this product is really addressing a need that many of you guys have stated in the past. So we're super excited about launching it. I'm here to share with you a couple of key product information and dates, as I'm sure you're all very curious. So the launch date for Bevvy is going to be on July 13th, and it's going to be launching in the US only. For the pricing, it's going to be priced very similar to our Energize. It's $49.95 retail. It'll be available as either an HD or one-time purchase. And then for coach price, it'll be $37.46. We're launching this product in 2 delicious, refreshing flavors, lemon, which we know is the most popular tea flavor in the US, as well as pomegranate berry, which is a really delicious berry flavor for those of you who like something a little bit more tart and sweet. In terms of the configuration and the format of the product, each Bevvy will ship with 40 stick packs, and with the recommended taking twice a day, that'll be equivalent of 20 servings. Commission, PV will be 38 and TV will be 25. Sandy had mentioned there is a current announcement FAQ live. The announcement FAQ is 7799. We will be coming out with a full-fledged launch FAQ that does a much deeper dive on all of your most common questions, coming out July 6th. So stay tuned for that as well. Sandy, back to you.
I'm coming. Awesome. Thank you so much, Christine. And thank you to Erin and Emily and everybody that has been working really, really hard to get this product to market. We're very, very excited about it. And the launch date is coming up shortly. Hopefully this information gives you a good understanding for you research nerds as Erin said. So thanks everybody for joining. We wanted to make it quick and sweet. Have yourself a really great day. We'll see everybody very soon. Bye-bye.
All right, well, there you guys have it. Thanks so much for joining us today on the Champions page and to learn a little bit more about Beachbody Bevvy. I don't know about you, but I'm super excited. I think I'm most excited that this does not have caffeine as a way to curb your cravings, because who wants to, curb your cravings at 6 or 7 o'clock at night with caffeine, because then you're up all night. And so I'm super, super excited about this new product that's launching in the US only Monday, July 13th. Be sure to check out FAQ 7799, like they said in the video. And on BOD, I think it's awesome that you're able to go there and learn about Bevvy Basics. So check out what's on BOD already for you guys. And again, just be talking to your customers and coaches about this new product that's going to be available in just about 11 days. So thanks again so much for joining today. And I'd like to thank Christine and Emily, Erin, and Sandy for taking the time to put this training together for us. And I hope you guys have a happy 4th of July weekend. Stay safe and enjoy your family. See you soon.